Bow down before my psycho power.
Today we have a little bit of I guess it's Twitter drama to talk about. I've seen some very interesting tweets being flung back and forth between the FGC, and I just want to talk about these and break it down. Before I do so, I have to say, if you aren't subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I see a lot of people watching the channel daily, but they're not subscribed. If you're watching daily, hit that subscribe button. Also, go follow me on Twitter. I just made a Twitter and I've been interacting with some community members, and I've been trying to spread my presence across both platforms. Davon P says Tekken is very anti-beginner as a series. I don't care what anyone says. Tekken, in my opinion, is the only fighter out there that don't respect people who have limited time or hasn't been playing the series out the womb. The series need changes if they want new blood. Now, when I read this, it sounds pretty fair to me. Like, Tekken is a very difficult game, right? It's one of the hardest fighting games out there. Can we all agree on that? It's the hardest. At the same time, one of the biggest complaints about Tekken is no tutorial. It doesn't teach you how to do this. It doesn't teach you how to do that. You have to pay for frame data, punishment training. It has all of these things that's very difficult to access, and as a new player, you won't really understand. This tweet got a lot of backlash. The Tekken community, they swarmed in on this to tell Davon how they are completely wrong. And I want to read some of these responses because some of the responses is good, but some of them, we'll see. The first one that I want to start off with, where is it? Junior, this is what I want to start off with because this one I think makes the most sense. Tekken discussion is always so funny because it's dudes with 15 years plus of legacy skill telling you the game is not hard. Speaking as a newer player, Tekken is, in my opinion, the hardest game to get good at because of the sheer amount of characters, moves, knowledge required. But this is also what makes the game so much fun at low mid level. Everyone else is just as lost as you and getting blown up by unsafe strings, random launchers, moves they never seen before. Don't try to become a top player and just enjoy playing the game. You'll learn as you go. And the reason why I want to start with this one is because this is honestly how I play Tekken. I don't care about getting good. I don't care about being the best. I literally just play for fun. I want to be a button masher scrub at the game because that's when it's the most fun. But the part here where it's talking about 15 years plus of legacy skill, this is what Tekken fans very, very often forget. I want everyone to comment, how long have you been playing Tekken? You guys have no clue what the beginner experience is like. I know that is a harsh thing to say, but you have no clue. You guys haven't been a beginner in Tekken in like 20 years. So you don't understand what those ranks are like and how people are experiencing the game for their first time ever. I switched off of Yoshimitsu. I've been playing in a live stream and I've been trying different characters, Kazuya, Heihachi, Jin, and I can see the difficulties of those characters, and also I'm understanding how hard it is to sort of learn the game, learn the difference between a electric wind godfist, a perfect electric, a frame perfect, all of these different variations that the game does not tell you about. It doesn't tell you the difference between those things and how to use them. The chat was explaining it to me, right? Let's look at some more responses. IMOP says, I started with Tekken 7, never felt this way. Also never got this argument, why would a skill-based game not reward players who are putting more time in practice? If you have limited time, just play casually, enjoy the game. The game doesn't have to change, in my opinion. And this is also true. What I think is really cool about Tekken is you can play it however you want. You can sit in practice mode and you can just lab matchups. You could just head right into rank and button mash, which a lot of streamers do. If you guys ever see XQC, Forzen, all of these top streamers, They go into practice mode, they find one string, one something, and then they go into off online and they're just spamming. And to me, that's the truest form of Tekken. It's learning on the fly. Everything I ever learned about Tekken has been in the battlefield, never practicing. Another one says, so many moves on these characters, man. This game sucks. Combos are super hard. The movement is hard in this game. You need so much time to learn this game. Kind of recently, the topic has been focused on characters having a lot of moves. And I was recently talking about this as well, and I was saying I would kind of be okay with the move list coming down to a certain degree, but at the same time, I don't think the move list is a problem. What's the problem is the game doesn't teach you the difference between electrics. It doesn't teach you the difference between these moves. I seen on the Tekken subreddit just a second ago, someone was trying to figure out what the purpose of Asuka's parry is. If I could find the video, I'll show you guys. But something that Tekken can teach people is why you have all these moves and maybe how to use them. And the part about you need so much time to learn this game, a game that I talk fondly of, Smite. I always compare Tekken to Smite. Smite, when I first started that game, I was the biggest scrub ever. I quit Smite like 20 times, and one of my friends at the time got me to keep on playing, keep on. And after a year, a whole year of getting destroyed, I finally started to understand and finally started to get better. And now Smite is one of my favorite games to play. And it's the same thing for Tekken. You just can't pick up this game and just be good at it. You do have to sink some amount of time into it. It's not a Call of Duty or a race car game. It's a game that takes some sort of execution and precision, competence. Why everyone at this dude's neck? He didn't say anything wrong, lol. Tekken 7 is the easiest installment of the series, and it's still hard AF. Another response says, I think Tekken is great for beginners, provided they're playing other beginners. This is important. All the people who are smurfing and going down to beat up lower ranks, you guys are the worst. I want you to know that. You're worse than people who plug. You're worse than people who cheat. You going down there and beating up beginners is hurting the game on a unprofound level. I went to Street Fighter, right? I played Street Fighter one live stream, and there was a smurf in ranked section going crazy, and they destroyed me, and I haven't played Street Fighter since. That's the thing you guys don't realize. Yeah, you may be having fun beating up people, but you're hurting the player base. You wonder why you get matched up with the same person over and over again. Meanwhile, you're playing like a fool, you know? After setting Twitter on fire, Davon responds and says, seems like I made some Tekken players upset. 1. I ain't changing my mind. The series requires too much of an investment and I'd rather play Strive or Street Fighter. 2. As for the name calling, that's exactly why y'all keep begging for rollback. Oh my god. I love it that this person didn't back down, because that's the thing. Even if you have a hot take or a bad take, stick true to what you say. Like, believe in yourself. Even if others think you're wrong, believe in it. We need criticism like this in order for the game to get better. Another response says, nah, they're doing it right, staying true to their formula, and it's paying off. Tekken has had pretty sustainable popularity. The last thing we need is another dev trying to cater to the casual market. If they want to play something easier, they can play another game. Can't please everyone. And I kind of disagree with this, not because I think they're wrong, but really I think Tekken 7 is catering to casuals. Tekken 7 is doing everything it can to cater. It's reducing movement so you can be hit with these godlike moves, orbitals, attacks. So many launchers in the game is safe, and that's because beginners spam those tools. They use these things, and the developers don't want them to be punished for doing so. And you can also talk about rage arts and all these comeback mechanics. Tekken 7 is very, very casual. Harada was saying he wanted to have AI in the game to correct inputs. If that isn't casual, what else is? Majin Obama responds and says, you have a good idea, but you phrase it poorly and use weak supporting evidence in my opinion. Tekken consistently has a huge casual appeal. Even Arcade era did for a lot of reasons. It's also not lagging behind 2D in any way competitively. Competitively speaking, many new players have found success in Tekken 7. If you framed your statements around tools to improve the game, like lack of interactive tutorials in Tekken 7 and Player 1 content, or competitive content, or poor net play experience, I think you'd have a better angle to convey what you're trying to say. And this is the thing, this is why I was talking about tutorial and teaching people the difference of attacks and why certain attacks are important, because Tekken don't teach you. In this video, I just want to talk about this because I think it's very interesting. This is something that Tekken 8 is going to have to tackle. Whether you guys agree with this person or not, what they're saying is true to them. And Tekken 8, if it wants to bring them back in, if it wants to compete with Street Fighter and Strive, which is games that they've said they're going to play, they have to adapt. Or maybe they don't. Maybe they don't need to, and the hardcore legacy players is enough to keep the game afloat. I don't know. I just want to talk about this because I think there's truth to both sides, and I always try to see that, right? The truth to both sides. So that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time, and bye-bye.